Rick Harrison, the ever-recognizable face of History Channel's legendary hit Pawn Stars, has found himself at the center of an unexpected whirlwind of controversy, just as he prepares to walk down the aisle for the fifth time. This time, with 41-year-old Las Vegas nurse Angie Palushkin, who will soon take on the title of Mrs. Harrison, if things go according to plan. But amid the celebration of his 60th birthday and the anticipation of the nuptials, Rick has suddenly been thrown into a storm of public complaints, online murmurs, and whispers of concern surrounding his extravagant motorcycle obsession, and a few surprising allegations about his personal life and dealings behind the scenes of the show. While Rick may proudly wear the badge of the spotter for his uncanny ability to sniff out rare gems in the pawn world, it seems the tables have turned, and now he is the one being spotted by critics, exes, and armchair investigators online. The controversy began brewing when Rick made a revealing appearance on his podcast, Pawn After Dark, alongside fellow biker and media personality Riki Rachtman. There, he passionately showcased his vast collection of vintage motorcycles, including a barely used 1969 Triumph with only 34 miles on it, and a rare 1941 Indian 741, which he famously negotiated down to $9,500 on the show. Rick's eyes lit up when discussing how each motorcycle in his ever-growing garage is special, depending on the ride, the weather, or simply his mood. Each bike is different, he explained. It depends on the scenario. But what started as a heartfelt tribute to his passion quickly morphed into a viral sensation when his fiancée Angie's recorded remarks from the same episode sparked debate. "Why do you need so many motorcycles?" she asked on air, seemingly frustrated with Rick's obsessive tendencies. It was an innocent question, or so it seemed. Social media latched onto Angie's tone, with some viewers interpreting it as an early red flag for the upcoming marriage. Then, like gasoline poured on an open flame, allegations started surfacing from anonymous sources, claiming Rick's extravagant spending on his motorcycle collection may have crossed certain ethical lines. Online sleuths began speculating about the origins of some of the parts and alleged insider deals Rick may have used his fame to acquire. Forums, blogs, and even rival YouTubers began poking holes in Rick's story, alleging discrepancies in certain purchases, and even suggesting that a formal complaint may have been filed over irregularities involving antique imports or unpaid taxes tied to bike acquisitions. No official confirmation has emerged yet, but the rumors have been enough to taint what should have been a celebratory chapter in Rick's life. What's worse, the looming wedding itself has been pulled into the drama. With Angie caught in the crossfire, whispers of prenup negotiations, secret jealousies from previous ex-wives, and even speculation about Rick's true motivations for yet another marriage began surfacing. Suddenly, Rick's upcoming fifth marriage has become less about romance and more about optics, with some fans accusing him of trying to redirect attention from the deeper controversies brewing beneath the surface. And it doesn't help that Rick's own brand of candor and brashness, which has made him a household name, has also drawn ire for being tone-deaf in the wake of public criticism. When asked about the swirling rumors, Rick remained defiant. "People are always going to talk. I've made a living listening to stories and figuring out what's real and what's BS. This isn't any different." His statement, while on brand, did little to quell the speculation. Instead, it only fueled the narrative that Rick might be brushing off serious concerns with his trademark smugness. Meanwhile, Angie, who has mostly kept a low profile outside of Rick's podcast appearances, has been thrust into an unwelcome spotlight. Some tabloids claim she's overwhelmed by the situation, while others suggest she's quietly questioning the pace of their whirlwind romance. As the wedding date looms, pressure mounts for Rick to publicly address the allegations, not just for his fans, but for his fiancée's peace of mind. And fans of Pawn Stars have also started asking uncomfortable questions about whether the man they've watched for years, wheeling and dealing rare treasures, might have blurred the lines between business and obsession. The deeper issue lies not in the number of motorcycles Rick owns, but in what they symbolize. A man trying to reclaim youth, freedom, and identity amid aging, fame, and an increasingly chaotic personal life. With the show on indefinite pause, As reported by the Las Vegas Review-Journal and History Channel, no longer airing new seasons, Rick's off-camera persona is now under more scrutiny than ever. And while some fans defend his right to indulge in hobbies after decades of hard work, others say he's letting nostalgia cloud his better judgment. Allegations, even if unconfirmed, about possibly improper dealings involving antique motorcycles have led watchdog groups to quietly monitor the situation. The fact that a formal complaint has allegedly been submitted, even if still undisclosed to the public, is enough to keep the buzz alive. One former Pawn Stars insider even claimed that Rick's empire isn't as solid as it looks on TV. There's always been stuff going on behind the scenes, but now people are paying closer attention. These kinds of insider statements only add fuel to the fire and beg the question, is this just another unfounded scandal blown out of proportion, or is it the tip of a much deeper iceberg? For years, Rick has cultivated the image of the wisecracking, deal-making patriarch who built his empire from a humble Las Vegas pawn shop. But every empire has its cracks. And some believe that the real story isn't about motorcycles or marriages, it's about a man battling relevance in a world that's moved on from his brand of entertainment. With younger generations consuming media differently, and the appetite for traditional reality TV waning, Rick's shift into podcasting and social media seems like an effort to stay in the game. But unlike rare coins and antique guns, reputation is a currency that can depreciate fast under the weight of rumors. Rick's story. Marriage number 5, the public complaints, the swirling allegations about his collecting habits, has become a case study in what happens when fame, hobbies, and controversy collide. For now, fans and critics alike are watching closely to see whether Rick can weather the storm and say, "I do," with a clear conscience and an untarnished legacy. Or will this be the beginning of a new, darker chapter in the Pawn Stars saga? One where the line between collector and hoarder, businessman and opportunist, celebrity and scandal becomes dangerously thin. Only time will tell. One thing's for sure. Rick Harrison may be used to evaluating items for their authenticity and worth. But now, it's his own integrity on the appraisal table. If you want to keep uncovering the untold and the unexpected, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a story that others are too afraid to tell.